My in-laws tried to change my identity, demanding I adopt their traditions and discard my own. When I refused, they called me disrespectful and banned me from family gatherings. My husband said, "Why can't you just obey?" I whispered, "I won't erase myself for you." When he realized he was losing me, he faced the choice of standing by me or his family. I met Ravi at work. Typical office romance. Shared projects, shared snacks, shared stress. Fell for each other fast. He made me laugh. I made him feel seen. We talked about the future and agreed we'd keep both our cultures alive if we ever had a family. He told me early on his parents were traditional. I grew up in a strict Catholic home, so I figured I could handle it. Wrong. The first time I met them, I was polite. Wore a long dress. Brought homemade cookies. I even addressed them as uncle and auntie like Ravi said too. They stared at the cookies like I'd brought trash. ML smiled and said, "Next time, bring something vegetarian, dear." I laughed it off. Everyone has preferences. But then she added, "And try covering your shoulders. Modesty is respected in our culture." That was day one. We had 2 ceremonies, one in Naperville, Western style, one in Skokie, Hindu style. I wore both the white gown and the red lehenga. I respected their traditions. I fasted, I learned rituals. I sat through the whole puja ceremony in heavy jewelry and zero idea what the priest was saying. ML kept correcting me during the ceremony. "Not that hand. Sit straight. Say it like this. Every damn step." I made it through. Thought the worst was over. It wasn't. 2 weeks after the wedding, we got a package. Inside was a set of name change forms, already filled out. New name, Sonal Gupta. My name isn't Sonal. It's not even close. I was born Sophia Isabella Cruz. It's the name my grandmother gave me. The name on every award, every job offer, every piece of my life. I asked Ravi, "Did you know about this?" He said, "They mentioned it. It's what's expected." I said no. That's when the pressure started. They didn't yell. That would be too easy. Instead, it was things like, "Sonal is such a beautiful name. Very respected. Gupta is a strong name. Cruz sounds foreign. Children should carry honorable names, not ones from broken lands." Yes, she said that. About my entire culture. I stood my ground. Ravi told me I was making this harder than it needs to be. Then came the language push. They expected me to speak fluent Hindi. ML started speaking only in Hindi when I was around. She'd say things and laugh with others, never translating. I tried to learn. I downloaded Duolingo, watched Hindi movies, even asked Ravi to teach me. He said, "It'll come naturally. Just keep listening." One day, his aunt said, "How will she raise Indian children if she can't speak our language?" They laughed like I was a joke. I didn't laugh. I left the room. This is where it went from annoying to insane. I found an email thread. Ravi accidentally left it open on the laptop. His mom, aunts, even some of his cousins were organizing a renaming ceremony. Yes, an actual event. Priest. Invitations. Rituals. Flowers. Food. For the purpose of officially renaming me Sonal. The invitation had a line, "Please join us in celebrating our new daughter's entry into the family as Sonal Gupta." I saw red. I confronted Ravi that night. "Me, you were going to let this happen without asking me?" Him, "It's not a big deal. It's symbolic. Just go with it." Me, "Symbolic of what?" "Erasing me." Him, "It's how things are done. You don't get it." That's when I said it. "I won't erase myself for you." I meant every word. I emailed his entire family. I wrote, "My name is Sophia Cruz. I am proud of who I am. There will be no ceremony. No name change. Please respect that." They did not respect it. Instead, I got messages. "You've shamed the family. You're not willing to become one of us. You don't belong in this house if you don't accept your place." Then they banned me from family events. Ravi said, "Just apologize. Make peace." I moved out the next day. I've been staying with a friend in Chicago. Ravi's still living in our apartment. He texts me, calls, says he misses me. But he also said this, "They're still my parents." I told him, "And I'm still your wife. But I won't be your puppet." He's been quiet since. ML posted on Facebook, "Some women destroy peace with pride." I commented, "Some women refuse to be erased." Post deleted. Account locked. Classic. Ravi showed up at my friend's apartment one night. No warning. Just stood at the door with takeout and flowers like this was some teen rom-com. Me, "What do you want?" Ravi, "To talk. Please." I let him in. He looked tired. Like he hadn't slept in days. He said he'd been thinking. That he understood now. That he was sorry for not standing up for me sooner. I didn't say anything. Then he dropped a bomb. "They told me to divorce you." Apparently, after I moved out, ML called a family council. Yes, that's what they called it. The group included Mil Fil Ravi's older brother, the golden child, 2 aunts and a family priest flown in from India. I kid you not. They told Ravi that a woman who refuses tradition brings bad luck, that I had a rebellious spirit and needed to be left behind. His brother handed him divorce papers, pre-filled. His parents offered to find him a proper match within a month. Ravi said no. He told me all of this like it was some heroic act. But I wasn't impressed. I asked him, why did you even let it get that far? He didn't answer. Here's where things go dark. A few days after that talk, I started noticing weird things. My friend's ring cam caught a car circling the block 3 times in one night. Another day, someone left a plastic bag on the porch. Inside, a copy of the Bhagavad Gita and a note that said, "It's not too late to change." No name. No address. I knew it was them. So I called a lawyer. Just to be safe. She was amazing. Sharp, calm, direct. She helped me understand my rights, made notes in case anything escalated, and even said something that stuck with me. They want control. You took it away. That's why they're panicking. She was right. But the storm wasn't over. A week later, I got coffee with a mutual friend of mine and Ravi's, Ananya. She was always nice. Soft-spoken. We'd grabbed lunch a few times before the wedding. That day, she seemed off. Nervous. Fidgety. Mid-conversation, she let it slip. You know, auntie just wants what's best. She said you were very proud. Maybe too proud. I froze. Me. How would she know what I said unless you've been telling her? She panicked. Tried to backtrack. Too late. Turns out Ananya had been feeding updates to MIL. Every post I liked, every photo I was tagged in, even what I said during private hangouts. She was their little mole. I left her at the table. Blocked her everywhere. I felt sick. This wasn't just about names or ceremonies anymore. This was a war for control. 2 days ago, Ravi sent me a voice note. He said he's cut them off. Blocked them. Moved out of the apartment. Said he's staying in a hotel while he figures himself out. He said he knows now that love doesn't come with conditions, and family shouldn't feel like a trap. He said, I'm ready to fight for you now. But here's the thing, I don't know if I believe him. I want to go back to that silly, sweet guy who made bad puns and held my hand on the L train like it was the most natural thing in the world. But now I'm looking over my shoulder, watching who I talk to, wondering if another family council is plotting their next move. Here's the twist I didn't see coming. Last night, my mom called me. She rarely does that late, so I picked up right away. She said a woman had shown up to her house, my family home, with flowers and sweets. She introduced herself as Ravi's mother. She told my mom that she was ready to talk woman to woman. She left behind a handwritten letter for me. I haven't opened it yet. It's sitting on my table right now, untouched. Yeah, I opened it. I stared at it for a full day before finally doing it. It smelled like rose water and incense. Her handwriting was slanted and neat, like she took her time with every stroke. Here's what it said, roughly translated and condensed because she rambled a lot. Dear Sophia, I still believe in a woman's duty to adapt to her husband's world. But perhaps I was too harsh. Perhaps I pushed too hard, too fast. I've seen how much pain this has caused my son. I'm willing to make peace with conditions. If you are ready to take one small step forward, your name change, I will ensure you are welcomed fully into the family. With time, all else can be forgotten. No more fights. No more distance. We can begin again. She signed it with respect, Ma. Let's call it what it was, a bribe. She wasn't apologizing. She was rewording her control tactics into something prettier. Make peace meant surrender. Fully welcomed meant owned. I didn't reply. But the next part? It's where things turn ugly. 2 days later, I got an email from a well-known nonprofit based in downtown Chicago. It looked legit. The name of the HR rep was someone I'd seen on LinkedIn before. The salary was great. Remote options. Exactly in my field. I got excited. Too excited. The only catch? The interview had to happen in person in Skokie. On a Sunday. In an office building I'd never heard of. That's when I got suspicious. I reached out to a friend who actually works in hiring at that nonprofit. Her response? We're not hiring. That's not our HR person. That's not our address. Get out of there. They tried to lure me. To trick me into walking into some building under false pretenses. I still don't know what would have happened if I had gone. After that, I went into full self-protect mode. I checked all my accounts. Changed passwords. Pulled my credit reports. And that's when I found something horrifying. Someone applied for a joint bank account using my name and Ravi's, but with the name Sonal Gupta. They'd used my old address, my real birth date, even my social security number. I called the bank, froze everything, reported fraud. They said it was a common case of identity blending and that whoever did it had access to very detailed personal info. Only a few people would have that. One of them? Ravi. I called him, shaking, furious. He answered on the first ring. Me. Did you open a joint account using a fake name for me? Silence. Me, Ravi? Ravi, I didn't. I swear. But I know who did. Long pause. My brother. Apparently, Ravi's older brother, Mr. Golden Child, works in finance. Has connections. Can bend rules. ML told him that if they opened the account, I'd eventually come around, and they could move the process along without me knowing. Move the process along. Like I was a deal they were closing. Ravi swore he didn't know. That he was as shocked as I was. But I couldn't breathe. My identity, my literal name, was being rewritten on paper. Behind my back. You want a twist? Here it is. I wasn't the first. That same friend who helped me verify the fake job listing, she did some digging. She knows people in legal circles. Through a contact, she found something wild. Ravi's brother's ex-wife. They were married briefly. It's not something Ravi talked about. Turns out, she was also non-Indian. Also, didn't fit the mold. Also pressured to change. Guess what her name was? Sarah. She disappeared from Ravi's life completely. Like she never existed. I found her divorce filing. It included a restraining order against MIL. Ravi never told me. I feel like I'm being gaslit by an entire family. I'm questioning everything. Was Ravi really clueless? Or was he protecting them all along? Is he a victim? Or just another player who didn't expect me to fight back? My mom is scared. My friends are pissed. My lawyer? She's ready to go nuclear. But me? I feel like I'm standing on a ledge and the ground behind me is crumbling. I'm not giving up. But this isn't just a love story anymore. It's a survival story. I wanted answers. So I set the stage. I told Ravi to meet me at a neutral spot. I picked a public cafe near the lake in downtown Chicago. Busy, open, safe. I also told him I wanted to talk to his mother and brother with him there. To my surprise, he agreed. They showed up late, of course. ML in her best silk sari, gold dripping from her ears. Ravi's brother wore a blazer like he was heading to a board meeting. Ravi looked like a ghost, thin, pale, jittery. I didn't waste time. Me, you used my name. You used my information. You tried to erase me from paper before you even could in person. Ravi's brother, it was for convenience. You would have come around eventually. ML, we only wanted to help you step into your role. You're too stubborn to see what's good for you. I laughed. I actually laughed. I couldn't believe the audacity. Me, you forged my name. You stalked me. You tried to trap me in a fake job interview. That's not tradition. That's psychological warfare. ML, everything we did was out of love for our son. Me, no. Everything you did was to control me. To make me disappear. That's when Ravi broke. He stood up so fast his chair tipped over. Ravi, enough. Just stop. Everyone went silent. He was shaking. Ravi, you did the same thing to Sarah. You tried to control her until she left me. You made me believe it was her fault. ML froze. Ravi, now crying, you ruined that marriage. And I let you start ruining this one too. I stood by while you insulted her, changed her name on documents, made her feel small. And I watched you do it all again to Sophia. His voice cracked. Ravi, but not anymore. ML stood up slowly. ML, if you walk away from us for this girl, you're no son of mine. Ravi didn't answer. His brother leaned in close and whispered, she'll take everything. I met his eyes and said, you already gave me nothing. I'm just taking back my name. ML stormed out. His brother followed. Ravi and I stood there, both crying, both broken. We sat for a long time. He told me everything. How guilty he felt. How torn he'd been. How scared he was to lose either me or them. He admitted he knew more than he let on. He'd seen the fake job email before I even showed it to him, but he wanted to believe they were just being misguided. He apologized. Not the kind of apology with flowers or drama. Just a quiet, gutted apology. The kind that comes when someone finally sees the wreckage they helped build. We didn't go home together. We needed time. He's in therapy. Real therapy. Not the kind his parents arranged. I stayed with friends. I got a new apartment. I unfroze my credit, closed the fake account, and filed a report through my lawyer, just in case they try anything again. As for Ravi's family, they've gone silent. The Facebook profiles vanished. The calls stopped. The ring cam hasn't caught any strange cars in weeks. I think they've accepted that I'm not going anywhere. Ravi and I are talking. Slowly, carefully. We're not back together. I told him, love isn't enough when you stay silent while I burn. He said, then I'll learn to speak louder. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. That's on him now. People think identity is just about names and clothes and languages. But it's not. It's the quiet way you say your name at Starbucks. It's your grandmother's handwriting in a recipe book. It's the songs you hum when you're sad. It's everything you refuse to let go of because it's yours. They tried to take mine. But I stood up. And now I know this. I'd rather be alone and whole than loved and erased. Thanks for listening.